It'll go from, okay, so we are live and
Okay.
I am excited because this is teacher positivity. So
Yeah.
I always wear comfy clothes. Look, I have my hairstyles treat people with kindness. This was given to me by my wonderful student teachers. And inside is vanilla tea. I got it over at Dunkin' Donuts. So I got my comfy clothes on, have my tea, and I have my guest that I've been dying
Yay.
interview. This is Miss Kathy Harper. I am going to put you up there. It says, "Welcome, Kathy Harper." I'm so
Hi.
happy to be here. Oh,
I'm so excited. I especially your mission of positivity, because that's where I am in life too. And
I
I'm so excited to
know.
be here.
Well, here's what I'm excited about. I have been watching your project for like over a year. I think it's been at least a year
Yes.
of the whole painting of the desks, and I'm going to show some of your desks and some of your projects. But before I do, I just want to make sure I have it right. I know you're a New Jersey teacher, and of
Yes.
course you're an artist, and you've taught art. But what else do you do? Because I know you do other than just art. Do you have like an ESL background or anything?
I do have it. I do have the ESL coursework. I don't have the certification, but I'm a para right now at a school, in a resource room, and I have great kids. I love it, and I love the people that I work with. And the school that I'm at, the principal is very involved with positivity
Good.
and being good and kindness. So it's like good for my soul. Like I'm so happy, and it kind of changed me a little bit working with him and what he does with positivity.
So that's so wonderful because I just read somewhere something about like if what you're doing lights you up like a Christmas tree, then that's it, that's you. And I
Yeah.
get what you're saying, it's good for your soul. I can tell because after I show the painting, all of the desks you painted, I'm going to share some of all of the sayings that you put on Facebook. Like I
Okay.
look for them. They're like part of my devotional for the day.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
So before I show any of the pictures, did you want to explain like how it even started, this whole project?
Well, when we went virtual because of COVID, I was working with another teacher, and all the kids were either on the couch,
Mm,
in their beds, or working at the kitchen table.
yeah.
And I found, like, especially the kids in their beds, like if you're in your beds, you're going to lay down, or you're not going to pay attention. I know I wouldn't. And
Yeah.
then if you're on your couch and mom has the TV on, what are you going to pay attention more to?
Right, right.
And one night in the evening news, they started showing people that are making desks for inner city kids, and they were slapping wood together. And I'm like, that is awesome. That's what our kids need. They need a place to work. And I really don't have any carpentry skills, but I do have artistic skills. So I went on the Facebook and I said to friends, if you have like an old desk laying somewhere that you want to get rid of, like send me a message, we'll hook up, and I'm going to paint them. I says, if they're good enough, I can send them. But if they need a little touch up, I want to paint them and personalize them for the kids, because I wanted to give them a place to work that meant something to them.
Yeah.
And,
I love that.
I find like some of the kids in the beginning, I didn't know who received the desk, but then
Right.
it was funny because one of my other students said one day, he goes, did you make a Batman desk? Because I made him a superhero desk. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I see so-and-so on it all the time when we're meeting virtually. So
Oh,
it made my heart feel good. And then I had a little girl that same thing. She was on the couch all the time, and she was my second desk. The first one was Batman. And she was sat at that desk every day during virtual and did
oh,
her work. It got her off the couch. It got her where she needed to be. And she was so excited the day she received her desk. She sent a video of her setting up her desk. And she's like, I have the most beautiful desk ever. If I worked in the office, everyone would be so jealous.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that story. I think it's beautiful. And I also love that it wasn't just that you were giving back to the community. The community came together because people were donating things to you.
Yes. Yeah.
So nice. Okay. So I hope I don't throw anybody out, but I'm going to share. So I feel like when I'm with my students, I'm going to share. Hold on. And often I'd throw myself out and they'd wait for me.
Yes, I understand.
Oh, gosh. All right. Let's see. Here we go. I'm almost there. And then I'm going to hit present. So this is your Batman desk, isn't it?
That's the first one. That's the first desk because as soon as I posted that I need a desk, my one friend, she's like, I got one for you. And that was my first one that I made.
I love it. Look at all the parts to it. So whoever was gifted this must have felt really special. I love that.
Yeah. And like I said, the students saw them on it every day. So.
So that's so sweet. And then there's this one. This looks like, is this a desk or was just something different?
It was actually a side table because I also, if I see something on the side of the road, I'll pick it up and I'm like, oh, it's a good little table for a kindergartner or a first grader to, do their work on. Sure. So, yeah. So it was just a little side table and I made it, personal for a little one. So
I did summer school and I had kindergarten students. And I think if every one of them had one of those desks, it would be like perfect for their body size and they would have felt like super special.
Yes. Yes.
Cool. And then we have another one here. Look at this one.
This is my superhero one. And it's the little boy that I said noticed the other kid's desk. And he kept changing it all throughout the thing because at one point, I had the 3 superheroes finished on the top and he's like, can I have a Ninja Turtle on there somewhere? So I actually slapped a Ninja Turtle on the side of it for him. So he would get his Ninja Turtle too.
I saw it. It's beautiful. It's just as beautiful as what you did at the top. I just didn't choose that picture. I'm sorry. Were you going to say something else?
No, that's fine. But I love that desk because it's like an older style desk, and it actually was a girl's desk. I didn't tell him that though. No. But it had flowers and all that stuff on it, and I had to do a lot of sanding to get the flowers off.
It's gorgeous. I think it's like amazing. I think these desks, even if the children like outgrew them or whatever, they would want to keep them because you can pass these down and it's like a good memory.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yes. It's really beautiful, Kathy. So this one is my favorite.
Okay.
I just think the style of the desk might be it. So this is cute.
Yeah, I did this kitties because all the girls, like, the elementary ones, they have their little kitty hats that they wear and stuff. Yes. So I don't know who got this, a teacher, because I put it out like on a teacher email. I have desk available if you know of a student. So I gave this one to a teacher. And that's another thing. Not only do people donate desks, a lot of the teachers have helped me out by delivering the desk to the kids too.
See, it's like go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I think it's like, this is one of mine I like too, because it's perfect for a little girl.
And it's like a whole community coming together, like I was saying earlier. I love it. So now we have this. Now this desk is the donated desk.
Yes.
And there's a cute story with this because you wrote, and I'm just paraphrasing, you wrote that you were in a funk that day. You really didn't want to get out of bed. And you happened to look out your French doors and you got all excited because someone actually came over, Joanne and Steve Taylor, and donated the desk to you, didn't they?
Yes. Oh. And that's like what the desk did for me because, I live alone. So, you spend so many days at home and stuff like that. You get a little funky. And I looked out and I'm like, oh my gosh, look how beautiful that desk is. And the top was messed up. And Joanne's husband, Steve, he recut the top for me and everything.
Oh, now is this the same desk all done up now?
Yes.
Oh, look at that. I mean, that could go into my house.
Yeah. I know. I was kind of like, I like this desk a lot, but a nice girl got it too. One of
Oh,
my former students. Although I did have to speak to her a couple times because I still called her in bed during class. And I'm like, why aren't you on your desk? And she's like, I have laundry all over it. And I'm like,
oh my goodness.
that's not what it's meant for. So,
Oh, all right. I stopped sharing.
okay.
Okay, so I also wanted to talk about your beautiful messages that you put on Facebook. Like, I want to read a few. I have to go grab it. Hold on. So, and these are not even, these are just quick that I grabbed. Some of them that you wrote would make me cry because they'd make me really think. But this one was just, this was from August 25th, 2020. Hi, everyone. When you do something, and this is what I would wake up to. When you do something kind for someone for no reason, it is so good for your soul. Sunday night, out of the blue, I called my mom and told her I was stopping by with some ice cream sundaes, yum. And she's so tickled to have a surprise treat and spend some time with me. Be kind, be safe. I love you. And that's what you would write each time. I love that.
Yeah.
And then there was another one that says, sometimes I forget how fortunate I am. And you were talking about where you live. I won't get into the details, but the different, like you live in the country and near the shore. And then there were these animals on your lawn. And you were like, I don't have a mansion, but this is my slice of heaven. Like, this is true. And I was thinking to myself, we don't have to have a mansion or the big, beautiful house. We can appreciate what we have. And that day when you put it, I looked outside and wild turkeys, which I normally get mad at, were in my backyard. And I was like, wait a minute. No, this is like my slice of heaven. So it made me think of it in a different way.
Yeah, and you share it.
And then I was thinking, you know what you should do? This is just me thinking about this. You're an artist and you have these great quotes. You should put them together and make like a book or one of those daily, like rip apart type of calendars or something. Get on Amazon.
That's awesome. One of my friends did say that she looks for it every day. And she's like, you should put this in a book. And I'm like, you know what? I never thought of that. So that is a great idea with some little sketches and stuff like that.
Yes, I would buy it. I would buy it and I would promote it for you.
Okay.
And then you had something else that you told me that I thought was pretty amazing. And that was your YouTube channel. What's it called?
It's called Kitchen Counter Art Lessons. I have about four of them on there, but I started doing them also during the pandemic to give me something to do. Plus, I wanted to make easy stuff for kids that they could do at the kitchen counter. That's why I call it Kitchen Counter.
I love that. Yeah.
And so I started with the younger ones, and I do a lot of the with the art lessons. I teach an actual lesson, like I might either do art history or I talk about color theory. And then a lot of them are literature based where I have a story that goes along with it.
Oh, I love that.
So especially I have a lot that are kind of kindergarten and preschool right now. And I think I have I know I have like a 6th or 7th grade, like rotational symmetry project on there.
So that's good. I mean, that's really good because people can use them, you know, if they're virtual or even in their classroom. Like I can put that up in my own classroom with something like that. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. And that's what I was thinking about too. Like if an art teacher happens to get on there and they're just trying to figure out how to teach color theory, I have some really simple lessons for them. And actually it was with crowns and overlapping and all that.
Oh.
So it gave them, it just gives up a little lesson because I taught art for 19 years. So I have some classic lessons that, that maybe I can share and others can use. So
I love that. I think it's a good idea. I'm going to check it out. Everyone else should check it out. Kitchen Counter, right? Kitchen Counter lessons. I love it. Okay. Thank you, Kathy Harper, for joining me. You're the best.
Oh, awesome. You're the greatest because positivity is the thing. We need to be good to one another. We need to be kind. And good souls like you working with children. working with children, it's the best thing for our kids. They really need the love and the kindness. So, yeah. But I started my Facebook, like my inspirations, because I just wanted people to feel good. I wanted to share happiness. And like you said, I have a lot of people that look for it every day. So
I do, every single day. I'm like, what does she have? And recently you had more like of a post, like the post that you chose that someone else had done, like a quote or like a meme or something. And some of the funny stuff you have too cracks me up. I'm like, oh, I needed that laugh. That's fun. I love it. So thank you for filling up.
You're welcome.
Something positive. All right. Maybe one day you'll come back on again. Okay.
Yeah, I would love to. I've had so much fun.
Good. Thank you. You have a good night.
You have a good night too, Roxanne.
Thank you. All righty. So if you're still here, I am going to real quick. I'm going to, for the second half, share with you some student must-haves. And this, of course, is coming from my own family, my Lexi Lou. So I have some cool things that I wanted to share that are practical. So, and some are not practical, but apparently you must have them if you are 10 and going into 4th grade. All right. So these are cool. My sister gets them, I believe, at Target, but they have them at Walgreens. These are the masks that are throwaway. They have 2 different styles that are in here, and there are 24 masks. So these are must-haves. Lexi is very anxious about wearing a mask. She'd rather have a throwaway on because it's lightweight than anything else. Although we do have some beautiful handmade masks, these are the go-to, okay? So that's her number 1. They're not in any order. They're just 5 that I chose. So another thing that she is loving, because this is like a fidget, you know, all the kids are into this, and it's those poppables, right? But this is for your iPad or your device. And it has a little part that comes out so it stands up. And while you have it in there, you can be pushing the little poppets that are on here. And it's not like you have something extra and your teacher wants to take it from you and call your parents. So I'm a teacher. I wouldn't mind having these in the class. And the material that it's made out of is very easy to wash and sanitize. So I love this idea. Okay. And when I have time, I'll go back later and link stuff in the description. On the same order, this is a Pop-It, and it is easy to clean. And it's a pencil bag or a supply bag. And again, it also serves as you're sitting there, you're watching your teacher, and you can press on it and do your little thing here. So, and it's easy to sanitize, like I said. So that's number 3. Number 4, these are her favorite type of shoes. She says they're very comfortable. As a matter of fact, her sister has them. Her BFF has them. Her cousin has them. They all have them. And they come in they're Crocs. They come in such cool, different patterns, solids, whatever. And then there's the pieces that you can add. So she is loving these. Even though she's uniformed, right? The students that are uniformed, and I'm very much for uniforms, this is a way that you can show your individuality. And it does have a back to it, because I know you're not supposed to, like in our school, have something that doesn't have a back, but this does. So we have Crocs. That's number 4. And number 5, believe it or not, was the first thing that she thought of. And she said, she must have these. You must have these. They're called GoGo Squeeze. And it's strawberry, 100% fruit, 60 calories in the whole pack. And you keep them refrigerated, send them to school with the kiddos, and it makes a good snack. So those are her 5 must-haves. Very different than my 5 must-haves, and very different than Allie Mac's 5 must-haves, but that's okay. All right, and then next up, before we close out, is this book that is made by Scholastic. It cost all of $4.99, and it's about what does it mean to be kind. And I always have this discussion with the whole school, because we'll do like not a workshop, but like an assembly. Gosh, we haven't done one in a year. We did it virtually once, but we're going to see what this year holds. But when you would ask the younger children, what's it mean to be kind? They'll be like, to pick up a pencil. You know, they kind of don't know. And this book has 9 examples in the front, I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. I'm going to tell you real quick. It says, what does it mean to be kind? Does it mean being a type or a category? And then they tell them no. And they give like about 4 non-examples, but then they give them everyday examples. And what they're trying to promote is that it's not about spending money or making a donation. It could be as simple, and this is good for the older children too, upper elementary. They give simple ideas like giving someone a compliment. And then over here, it says holding the door for someone. So these are concrete things that you could use with the younger children. But then it gets a little more like a little more detailed, and it's good for the older children. Sticking up for someone who is being bullied, seeing the best in people even when they are struggling to do their best. So now we're appealing to the older children, and it gives them something to think about. $5 this book is. It's visually beautiful and appealing, and it has a really good message. And that is how I am going to end the spilling of the tea tonight with my Harry Styles. Thank you, Lana and Angel. And I hope you have a good night. Bye. Thank you for tuning into the Fox's Den.